Guys, Sterling and Cejudo go face-to-face this Saturday at UFC 288. So make sure to take advantage of an exciting offer from my partners at DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers bet $5 on any pre-fight money line and get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. You can use your $150 in bonus bets on fight parlays, where you can combine multiple bets on the same fight into a parlay for a shot at even more action. If mobile sports betting is not yet available in your state, you can still get in on the fun with DraftKings Daily Fantasy, where they offer cash prize contests for nearly every sport. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. New customers, just click on the link below to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Remember, use promo code Sonnen and bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets if your bet wins. That's promo code Sonnen only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Official prediction, Gilbert Burns versus Belal Muhammad. Guys, I'm taking Gilbert, and I don't love how we got here. I do not love the path how we got here. Here, let's back up. As of this morning, it has finally been announced this is a number one contenders match. It was stated that business will go on as planned, meaning Colby Covington gets the next crack at the title against Leon. Whoever wins between Gilbert and Belal will sit out and wait until the conclusion of Colby versus Leon, and then we'll take on the winner. I think you guys understand what number one contenders match means, but that's a very wild spot. I mean, the whole reason these two guys are here is because they're prize fighters, and they don't get a prize unless they're doing some fighting. Then it turns out that they're brave, they want the credit, they want their opportunity, they're willing to do and walk through fire. Whatever has to be done, they'll go out and do it. But make no mistake, they're prize fighters. They're looking for a prize, which is where the irony comes in, that the winner is going to sit for a meaningful amount of time. The loser, as a matter of fact, could rightly be predicted to compete before the winner does, which means a payday. Do you guys ever think about it like that? I just bring that to you because it's somewhat interesting. And as I talk about how we got here, neither one of them knew this was going to be a number one contenders match. We all had a good feeling. We all thought it should be, but we didn't know it. They weren't promised it. I think that's a big deal. I think that speaks volumes to both of them. We didn't have to dangle a carrot in front of them. There was an opportunity. There was a co-main event. It was on a pay-per-view. And they both stepped forward. I think that they both deserve a lot of credit for that. Now, as I look really close into the X's and O's of how we got here, I have never thought of Belal Muhammad as a guy who has weaponized pace. And I just don't think of him that way. I don't think of Belal as a guy, well, it doesn't really matter what happens. He's going to get you tired. He's going to wear you down. He's going to grind on you. The longer the fight goes, the better it is for Belal. I will fully admit, perhaps, I should, but I don't. And when Belal was the one to ask for 5 rounds, to add rounds 4 and 5, it for the first time ever made me think, oh my goodness, this guy can rely on his conditioning. It's one thing to say it. It's a whole nother thing behind the scenes for information that got leaked to us that frankly was none of our business, that the 2 extra rounds added to this were added as a negotiation tactic by Muhammad. So he believes that he can run him down. He believes, Belal, that he can win rounds 4 and 5. What you guys need to understand is fighters always know. A fighter will say one thing and his opponent will say one thing. They know who's more powerful. They know who punches harder. They know who kicks harder. They know who the better wrestler is. They know who the more dangerous submission artist is. They know who is a front runner early. They know who can come from behind. They know. They don't tell you, but they know. Every single time. They know where their weaknesses are. They know where they got to make it up. Man, this guy hits way harder than I do. I need to avoid his punches and get inside. I'm just sharing for you. They're not blind to it, no matter what they come out and say in the media when they say in interviews. So the fact that Belal, behind the scenes, asked for or demanded, if you prefer to say it that way, 2 more rounds is very telling. At least to the mindset of Belal. I know so many of us think they're both so confident. Stop. I don't care that your 7th grade PE teacher told you elite athletes have confidence. They don't. The elite athletes, in spite of a lack of confidence, are willing to go out there and perform and roll the dice anyway. And that is a little secret that your 7th grade PE teacher didn't know, which is why he told you they're confident in the first place. He didn't know. So now that we're armed with the fact that Belal believes those rounds are going to be his, I have to scratch my head and go, God darn, I just can't remember a time that I saw Gilbert get out hustled. I can't think of a time. That was in his grappling career or his MMA career. I can't think of a time. So I'm wondering if it's a good bet by Belal. Now let's take a look at the only other thing that we were advertised, which is the weight. Muhammad wanted a 5-pound spot. Hey, we're going to do this on short notice. We both weigh the same thing. We're both going to have to pull some weight to get, why pull an extra 5 pounds for each of us? And Gilbert had a very reasonable answer, because that's the weight class. There isn't a weight class called 175. And then what do? We get the pound for the 11, so it's actually 176. Things are starting to get weird. I can understand that standpoint. I get it from both of them. But when you look at that fight, you still have to ask yourself, okay, how? If you're taking Muhammad, great, how is he going to beat him? Do you believe that he can outstrike Gilbert? Do you believe he can take Gilbert down and keep him there? There's only so many ways to win one of these contests. Do you believe that Belal offers something different or more than Chimaev did? By example, when we go back and we look at Gilbert possessed arguably the biggest threat to Usman's crown. Arguably. Usman has officially come out and said that that's Colby. But if you watch that fight, Gilbert hurt him. He had him stumble a little bit. Kamaru had to figure things out, get straightened out. When Kamaru won, he had to put him to sleep. He had to finish him. I mean, he had to finish him. If you don't shut that man off, he's not going away. He's not going anywhere. And I have to consider that. I have to consider that within the 5 rounds. Now, everything that I just told you is just from my interpretation. I've had people in private argue with me. Say, Chael, you're completely wrong. 5 rounds, that greatly favors Belal. Those last rounds are going to Belal. He's going to run you down. That could be true. I mean, there's a reason we don't just mail them the check. There's a reason we don't just mail them the award. The guys have to go out there and do the actual match so they can both have their say. When I look at Muhammad, though, I have looked and seen from a mental standpoint, I've seen him overcome damn near everything. I mean, the idea of Belal Muhammad being a co-main event or a main event guy or in a title eliminator match or in a championship match or in many eyes, the guy that's going to win the championship, all things that he is, he's the one that put himself there, not us, not you, not the promotion, not the media. Nobody did him any favors. He came out and screamed loud enough to get enough opportunities and went out there and beat people up. I mean, it was a very interesting spot that he was in with Corey Brady. They were on an undercard. Belal would main event, I mean, let's think here with Leon, he did with Luke. I mean, this is off the top of my head, guys, right? I don't even have a sheet in front of me. And I'm telling you, 2 main events that he did. One of which went to a no contest, but he stopped a guy's 4-year streak. The other one, he won over a guy that was arguably a number 1 contender, right? I mean, when Luke came through the curtain in Madison Square Garden and weighed in at 9 a.m. for the main event world title fight between Covington and Usman, that right there tells me he's a number 1 contender, and Belal goes out and beats him. So it's very relevant, though. They move him to an undercard against Corey Brady. Sean Brady, I apologize, but Sean had never lost. Sean was 15-0, looking absolutely amazing. And Belal's looking around going, are you guys not seeing what I'm doing? You took me from a main event of which I won. You pulled me down to an undercard. I mean, it was a really hard spot to be in. He went out there and dealt with it. And he handed an absolute killer in Brady, an absolute stud, his first defeat. I mean, it's a very interesting spot where both of these guys have shown us what they can do. They both have shown us what they can deal with. They both showed us their mettle. Both showed us they got good chins. They got an ability to grind. They can stay in each other's face. They can come from behind. I mean, it's one of these. I love that this was named a number 1 contenders. I mean, if there's one thing where I woke up today and that made me feel good about the world, made me feel good about the MMA sphere that I cover and I support and I'm a fan of, it was learning that this has officially been named a number 1 contenders match. Nothing else can stop whoever wins this fight. And I think whoever wins it, though, we do have the answer for where they're going to go and what they're going to get next. They're going to get the winner of Colby versus Leon. While I understand that, I know that's a great selling feature, you would have equally as much fun trying to figure out who is the guy that loses this fight drawn to. 170 is a very exciting spot right now. The loser of this fight is far more likely to fight faster than the winner of this fight. Where do you go with getting your hand raised, but where do you go if you come in second? It's a fun game to try to play.